Hello everyone, welcome to the new session of preparation of jams and jellies. So in this session we are going to study about how to prepare jams and how to prepare jellies. So there are different industries based on preparation of jams and jellies, right? So they prepare jams and jellies that are available to the consumers. So in this session we going to study about how these jams and jellies are made in these industries. So first of all, we are going to discuss about the jams. So jam is a product made by boiling fruit pulp with sufficient quantity of sugar to reasonably thick consistency, firm enough to hold the fruit tissues in position. So if we are using the fruit pulp, it means that we are using the fruit tissue, right? The fruit pulp is having the fruit tissue. So this fruit pulp is boiled and a sufficient quantity of sugar is also added to that, right? And reasonably, and it is maintained at a thick consistency, quite a thick consistency, firm enough to hold the fruit tissue in that, right? So this is the jam. So apple, sapota, papaya, plums, mango, grapes, jack, pineapple, banana, guava, and pears are used for preparation of jam. So these are the different foods that are used for the preparation of jams. Sometimes it is made mixed also, that is mixed fruit jam, right? And it can be prepared from one kind of fruit or from two or more kinds. So we are having the jams that is based on one fruit, and sometimes it is two or more than that, so that is called as mixed fruit jam. In its preparation, about 45% of fruit pulp should be used for every 55% of sugar. So we are using 55% sugar and 45% of fruit pulp. So this is the percentage of the jam that is having 45% fruit pulp and 55% sugar. The FPO specification of jam is 68.5%, TSS 45% of fruit pulp, and 0.5 to 0.6% of acid, that is citric acid, and per 100 gram of prepared product. So we are having this much amount of citric acid. Why the citric acid is present? To give a particular taste, odor, and as well as it is used as a preservative also. So jams means the product prepared from the sound, ripe, fresh, dehydrated, frozen, or previously packed fruit, including the fruit juices, fruit pulp, and fruit juice concentrate or dry fruit by boiling its pieces or pulp, or puree with a nutritive sweeteners, namely sugar, dextrose, invert sugar, or the liquid glucose to a suitable consistency. So what we are using either a fresh fruit, either dehydrated fruit. Sometimes the fruits are kept frozen also, so that can be used also for the preparation of jams. Sometimes there are fruit juices that are packed, fruit pulps are there, and fruit juice concentrate with the dry fruit, okay? And sometimes it's having its pieces also, right? Sometimes the puree is also there, fruit puree is there, or vegetable puree is there. So that can also be used for the preparation of jams. It is not like that we are always using the fresh ripe fruit. We can use the frozen one also, right? And the sugar that we are using for the sweetener is dextrose, invert sugar, or liquid glucose to a suitable consistency. So these are the three different types of sugar that can be used. This is very important to remember. A question can be asked on this in the examination, that what types of sugar that can be used for the preparation of jams. So that is dextrose, invert sugar, and liquid glucose of a suitable consistency. It may also contain fruit pieces and any other ingredient suitable to the product. Yes, sometimes fruit pieces are also there. Big pieces of the fruits are there, right? And it may be prepared from any of the suitable fruits singly or in combination. So sometimes it is this fruit pieces of a jam is having just single fruit, and sometimes the fruit pieces of different fruits are also available in the form of mixed jam. It shall have the flavor of the original fruits and shall be free from the burnt or objectionable flavors and crystallization. Very, very important point, that if it is a mango fruit jam, then it must give you the flavor of original fruit, right? So that originality in the fruit is maintained. And it shall be free from the burnt or objectionable flavors, because we boil this fruit tissue or the fruit pulp. Okay, so we must take care of the temperature, that it should not get burned. The fruit pulp should not get burned, or otherwise the flavor of the fruit will be changed, right? There should not be any crystallization. The crystal formation should not be there in the jam, because it can decrease the quality of the jam, right? So the consumer will have a complaint about that, why this crystallization is there. It means that it is not a good quality of jam. So that these things should be taken care while preparing the jam, that is the temperature, right, and the crystallization. Now, silent characteristic of jam. What are the characteristic of the jam? The amount of pectin in the gel is quite small. That is less than 1% of the weight of the jam. Sugar content is very high, that is 60 to 70%. Yes, the jam is having lot of sugar content, right? So it is around 60 to 70% depending upon the type of jam we are preparing. And the pectin material is present in the cell of or you can say the wall or certain tissues of the plant cell, and they are present in the fruit pulp, right? So this pectin, the amount of pectin in the gel is quite small, that is 1%. Of the remainder, the bulk is water with a small amount of fibrous matter and seeds. Sometimes seeds are also there, but it must contain an adequate amount of water. So the water is present in the bulk. For a chunky texture, some pieces of fruits are added about 5 minutes before the cooking is finished. Very, very important point. We generally prefer the fruit jam that is having the fruit pieces, because it ensures that this jam is made from the original pulp of the fruit, because you can see those pulp, you can see those pieces of the fruit, right? So this chunky texture comes from where? It comes from the pieces of the fruits that are added, and this addition is done just before the cooking is finished. Just before 5 minutes prior the cooking is finished, these pieces are added. If a stiffer or the sweetener jam is desired, right? Sometimes we required very sweet jam. So more thickener or pectin, honey or sugar may be added. If we add honey, then it will be better, right? Sugar is not so much healthy, but honey is healthy. So we can add honey instead of sugar. This is an optional. So some fruits such as lemon and the bitter orange are rich in both acid and pectin and can easily be made into jam. So the presence of the pectin, the presence of the acid is very, very important. Citric acid. And we are preparing, if we are taking the lemon, then it means that we are preparing the jam from the citrus fruit. We can take this oranges also. So these oranges also contain a good amount of these both acid and pectin, and that is very much required for the preparation of jam. Some popular combinations include the pineapple and pawpaw orange and banana, and apple and plum. So these are some of the combinations of the fruit that are generally preferred by the consumers, like pineapple and pawpaw, orange and banana fruit jam, and apple and plum. 55 parts of sugar is required for every 45% of fruit. So this is the very, you can say, a general type of you can say that the amount of sugar or the amount of fruit pulp is required for preparing the jam, right? So with excess of sugar, the jam becomes gummy and sticky, right? So we should take care that if the excess of sugar, then it will be very sticky and the consumer can complain about that, right? So it should not be very gummy also, because the spreading will not be easy. The spreading of the jam on the bread or any other food stuff will not be easy, right? So it should be of such a consistency that it can be spread on any food like bread or chapati, right? So it should be of a good consistency. So according to that, our sugar amount should be there. The finished jam should have 30 to 50% of invert sugar. Now this is having the type of sugar we are going to use in the jam, that is invert sugar, 30 to 50%. Glucose to avoid crystallization of cane sugar during the storage. So we can add glucose also, and this is prepared from the cane sugar, right? And this is added at the time of storage because it avoids crystallization. So this is very, very important. As I've already told you, that two things you must take care of, that overcooking, because it changes the flavor of the fruit, right? And the second thing is that crystallization. To avoid the crystallization, we can add the glucose prepared from the freshly cane sugar during the storage time. Acidity can be supplemented by the use of citric, tartaric, or malic acid. So these are some of the acid that can be used to supplement, right? These are the acid that can be used to supplement in the jam, that is citric acid, first one. Second is the tartaric acid. And the third one is the malic acid. The pH influences inversion of sugar and setting of the jam. So this pH is also maintained, right? So the amount of the acid you are using in preparation of the jam, that decide the pH. For pectin jam, the pH should be 3.3, gives a good set. For apple and plum jam, the pH ranges 3.2 to 3.5 is desirable, and optimum is around 3 to 3.5. So according to the type of fruit we are using, the amount of pectin that is present in the, like in the case of citrus fruit, they are having a good amount of pectin present in it, right? So if the pectin jam is there, then the pH is around 3.3, and that gives a good set to the jam. If we are preparing the apple and plum jam, then the pH will be ranging from 3.2 to 3. And the optimum one is around 3.35. So next thing, judging the end point at which the boiling is stopped. So we used to boil the fruit pulp, right? At which point this boiling should be stopped. This is very important. So determining the boiling point with the thermometer, we can use thermometer to determine the boiling point. Yes, thermometer or the thermocouples are used to indicate the temperature, which should be approximately the boiling point of 65% of sugar solution, that is 103.9 to 105 degrees centigrade, and when the process is complete. So you have added sugar, right? So when you added the sugar boils at this particular temperature. So you must maintain this temperature. You should not boil the temperature below or above with that, because the sugar should boil, sugar should get melt and it get mixed with the fruit. Then only it gives you the good flavor. So this temperature is a very, very crucial to monitor. A 65% solid boils at 104.8 degrees centigrade at sea level. It should be 8 to 9 degrees centigrade higher than the boiling point of water at that place. So this is the temperature. Now, hydrometer we are using. They help determining the specific gravity of the material. So this is also checked whether the specific gravity of the material got changed, right? If it gets changed, then it shows that the quality of the jam is not going to it is not of the good quality, right? So this specific gravity is also noted, and with the help of hydrometer, this is the you can say equipment that is used for determining the specific gravity. Refractometer. So we can determine the percentage solace, that is TSS, read directly on the scale. Use AB or the Jellies type refractometer, and for the dark colored jams jelly, use projection type refractometer. So the percentage of solid, how much solid material is there, right? So consistency, that is determined by the refractometer. Sheeting or the ladle test, a cold plate test. A drop of boiling liquid from the pan is placed on a plate and allowed to cool. In this cool plate test, a boiling liquid that is taken on the pan and it is allowed to cool, right? So if the jelly is about to set, it will crinkle when pushed with the finger. So if it is going to set in a form of jelly, then it will crinkle. This shows that it is prepared. So the boiling pan is weighed before and after putting the fruit extract and sugar in it. So weighing is also done. The weigh is finished jelly should be 1.5 times the weight of sugar used. So this, how much amount of sugar we have used, according to that it should be 1.5 times the weight of sugar we have used for the preparation. Industry uses a specific gravity method which gives a reliable indication of the point of readiness. Now comes the storage of jam. So this is one of the very important step. Once the jam is prepared, you have to store it. Storing is very crucial. The surface of jam is susceptible to mold growth. Yeast cannot grow or thrive, right? So they are very susceptible. Susceptible means it get easily get infected with this mold because they are present in the air. The spores are present, the yeast is there, right? So this mold growth is if it is open, if it is not stored properly, then this mold growth you can see in the jam. So the storage is very, very important. There is a risk of mold development and fermentation. Once the mold is grown there, so it alters the quality or it alters the flavor, taste, everything of the jam, right? So because it causes the fermentation, because sugar is there, so this mold take that sugar and ferment the fruit pulp, right, with alteration in the taste, and it degraded the taste of jam. Permitted preservatives may be used at a level sufficient to inhibit the growth of yeast and mold. So for this, what we can do, we can use some preservatives that are not going to harm anyway for our health, but it can avoid the growth of yeast and mold. So these are the microbes that get easily infected in the jam, and the storage is very, very important. For that, we use some preservative. Jam should be stored in fairly cool place or else some moisture evaporate, resulting in the surface graining and shrinkage of the jam. So jam contain water, it contain moisture. If it is not covered properly, stored fairly to the cool place, then what will happen? The water get evaporated and the surface of the jam get grained and shrinkage. It gets shrink, right? Because the water is evaporated. So it should be stored in a place having relative humidity that is around 80%. Fruit jelly. So fruit jelly means the product prepared by boiling fruit juice or fruits of a sound quality. Means it is of a good quality. Either you can take this fruit juice or simply the fruit with or without water, expressing the straining the juice, adding nutritive sweeteners and concentrating to such a consistency that gelatinization takes place on cooling. So this is the formation of jelly. How to make this fruit jelly, right? So this is made from the fruit juice, or simply we can take the fruit also, but we add nutritive sweeteners to it. And when it get gelatinized, right, it is set to cool. The product shall not be syrupy, sticky or gummy, and shall be clear, sparkling and transparent. So this is the quality of the fruit jelly, that the fruit jelly should be very clear. It should be sparkling and it should be transparent. You can see, right? You cannot actually see, but it is quite transparent, right? So this shows that this is the fruit jelly, and it should not be very syrupy, sticky or gummy type. The specific requirement for the preparation of jelly are shown below. Total soluble solid minimum 65%. The product shall be manufactured from the minimum 45% by weight of original prepared fruit, exclusive of any added sugar or optional ingredients of the finished product. So 65% total solid is there, but it becomes 45% after the preparation. So there also occurs some defects in the jelly, that is formation of crystals in jelly. So there is a formation of crystals in jellies. So sugar crystals may result from too much sugar. If you add a lot of sugar, then sugar get converted in the form of crystals, right? Too little acid. If the acid amount is less, then also there is a formation of crystals in jelly. Overcooking of jelly. When you overcook the jelly, then also the crystal formation in jelly takes place. And too long or a delay in sealing the container of jelly. So when we put the jelly in a container and we take a time to seal that, right? That also results in the formation of crystals in jelly, right? So if the amount of acid is less, if the amount of sugar is more, if there is an overcooking or you delay in sealing the container of jelly, then there is a formation of crystals, and this shows that the quality of the jellies are degraded. Crystals may sometimes be found in the jelly because during the boiling, the syrup spatters on the side of the pan and dries up, right? This syrup get collected on the side because in center it is boiling. So what happened? Lot of this fruit material get accumulated at the pan side and it dries up. When it dries up, the sugar content forms in a crystal. In subsequent pouring, the finished product, these crystals act as a seed material, are carried into the glasses of jelly. Okay, now another one is the formation of defects in jelly, that is the cloudy jelly. After crystals, there is a cloudy jelly. Usually occur with the red juices. It causes imperfect staining. Restraining of juice without pressure being a lower yield but ensures the clear product. The product is clear, but yes, the yield is less. Causative factors. What causes the failure to this gel? Improper balance of pectin, acid, sugar, and the mineral salts, which may come about several ways. Fruit used may lack sufficient pectin or acid or both. So these are the causative factors that can failure to gel, that is balance of pectin and acid and sugar material. So these are the some of the ingredients that must be present in the jelly, that is pectin, acid and sugar. So the pectin, it must contain in the fruit only, right? So if the fruit is not having the adequate amount of pectin or acid, then there will be a failure to gel formation in the jelly. Overcooking may destroy so much pectin that gummy masses is formed. So overcooking should be avoided. I've already told that two things are very, very important, that crystallization should not be formed while preparing the jams and jellies. And the second point is that overcooking. So maintaining the temperature at the time of cooking or preparing the gel is very, very important. Undercooking due to the insufficient concentration, that also causes failure to gel. Too much water used for the extraction of juices, so that the proportion of sugar is too great for the pectin, and the long time required for the evaporation may destroy some of the pectin. So if you contain a lot of water, right, while preparing the juice, then this causes imbalance. This a large amount of water that is present in this juice causes imbalance of the pectin and sugar, because you required more time to get this water get evaporated, and that destroys some of the pectin. So if the pectin destroys, then there is a formation failure to form the gel. So this is all about this session. We have completed the preparation of jams and jellies, right? So thank you very much.